All right. So this talk is just too juicy. We just got to keep it flowing. It's been a great one so far, and it's like I think this is very helpful to our community of people who also ascribe to this heart path. And I it was really good medicine for me to hear from you, Elitom. You know, continually to talk about enjoying the journey. And I remember at one point I'd already moved into liquidarianism, and you told me eat once a week with your family, you know, and I did, and that totally advanced my progress because on the
Hmm.
one hand, I wrapped up some feelings about some foods that I liked, wanted to try some more, and on the other hand, I had that joy with my kids. And then on the other hand, like I eat and I'd feel so terrible afterwards that I didn't want to eat again. So it all moved me forward, you know.
Right.
And that was good wisdom, to have fun and to, don't, it's not about um, cutting things out of your life. It's about bringing things into your life, bringing more light into your life. So,
Absolutely. Highlighting it with more light. I like that. And see, when we talk about playing a game, when you know the rules to the game is fun. When you don't know the rules, you don't want to play no more. It's difficult. You're mad. You're not winning. And like, say for instance, I got like an iPhone 13, and I got two friends who got the iPhone 13. Now, one of my friends know more what to do with the iPhone 13. So when he come to me and show me stuff, man, my phone can do that. It can do that. But then my other friend, when I go to them, I could do more than they can do with the phone. But when you first buy it, it's just the phone and it looks like every other phone. But there's other features that somebody has to really know what they're doing and be into it to get more out of it on what it can do, the technology can do. And that's what we're doing with our bodies. Everybody got one, but some people just figured out they could do more with it.
mhm.
That's what teaching is all about on this journey. Yeah, do this, go here, align yourself here, get this energy. Once you find out you could do more with your body, it makes you could do a lot more and have a lot of fun with your device, which is your physical body.
Right.
Oh,
So,
this is good.
and how do you learn on your iPhone? You push a lot of buttons. You push a lot of buttons. Oh, what does this do? What does that do? It's the same thing with your body. Oh, juicing is great, but what if I have this? What if I have that? Right. So it's
Hmm.
experimenting along the way. What if I do this for 3 days? What if I do this for one day? Right. And you mentioned about the rules, and I want people to understand that there's divine rules, right? There's rules of the laws of the universe and what you were talking about earlier with the science of our bodies and light and all that. But there's also rules that humans have put on us, right? Like you have to go raw, and then you have to be a juicitarian, and then
Right.
be a breatharian. Maybe that's not your path. Maybe
Hmm.
that's not the law or the rule that you should be following. Maybe it's cleaning the body, being a juicitarian, and maybe it's eating a little bit once in a while. Like Jesse said, you experience some things along that path. I had the same thing happen with me. So I know a lot of people, their paths sometimes looks a little bit like the stock market. It doesn't shoot straight up to breatharianism. You're going up and down and up and down. But as long as you have that kind of general slope reaching towards the cosmos, right? Towards your higher
Hmm.
self and your own personal enlightenment. That's what you're going for. But experiment and allow yourself to really, like you said, Jesse Tree, I love that you called it a heart path, because it really is what brings you that joy. And don't listen to other people's rules. Push
Right.
all your own buttons and find out what's the right path for you. What makes you light up, and write your own manual.
Oh,
Know thyself,
absolutely.
right? Know thyself. And I
Yeah.
love what you said about reading your own manual, and the practice of meditation is like Elitom was saying this, and you were saying earlier, this is the highest tech available in the
Hmm.
universe. And most of us aren't reading the manual on how our own individual, spacesuit works.
Right. Absolutely. Now I'm about to give a real big nugget. Dealing with the laws of physics again. Now, one thing when the breatharian knowledge first came out, people was just trying to fast their wings. That head first, losing all of this weight, all this other stuff taking place, looking miserable. And that wasn't the path at all until we had to figure out new ways to really deal with this technology. So we had to figure out that you got to go get the energy first, another energy source to really connect with it before you start letting it go slowly and gradually. But now this is where it gets key. People are scared about losing too much weight. Now, this is where the laws of physics come in at. See, when you meditate and you start opening up the body more to hold more light, because the body's a good conductor of energy. It's going right through you. When you feel those blockages, that means it's trying to go, but it got stuck there, due to whatever habit or thought is there and stuff like this. So this is the process. But when you're dealing with the laws of motion, the faster something goes, the heavier it is. Let me repeat. The faster something goes, the heavier it is. Because remember what they said, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it be transmuted into something else. So with the faster something going, the force of that motion is going to translate itself into the physical matter. That's why it's heavier. This is how science works. So the faster the energy you got going through your body at a certain level, that speed of the force of the energy that's coming in the body is going to start translating itself into physical matter. That's why your weight gets stagnated. You won't lose no more.
Mhm.
Must I repeat this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I would say also, like this, the video you did the other day about the solitarian science, being under the sun improves your bone. It improves
Improves the bone.
body weight.
But see, that energy is traveling. You actually have, so you got the electrical, say for instance, phosphorus, magnesium. They have their electrical charge, but they're already in the body. But once they go into movement in the flow, that's what makes the circuit go. So even though what I just said, you can't see it, it is flowing through the body.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a conductor, just like anything else. This is matter you're dealing with. But see, the average person is not going that fast. So the only way you know how to gain weight is by going outside yourself to go get physical matter. But when you got that flow coming through the body a lot more and faster, just like a stronger river is a bigger river.
Mhm. Yes.
Are we saying this now? So this is what I just told you, the laws of physics. Your weight will get to a certain point and won't go under because you opened up the channel to a certain degree that the force is turning into matter.
I experienced this physically actually during my transformation.
Oh man.
Once I started getting into dry fasting, started playing around with that, and I skinnied down, and then I got into juicing, and stuff, and or like liquiditarian lifestyle, and I've
Right.
said I've actually bulked up uh, from even before when I was dry fasting. When I was just on raw food, I'm not
Oh yeah.
as strong
But
as I am now.
but we're giving people this information and show them this is why they must meditate.
Mhm.
Meditation is what gives that's how you get more energy into the body. Just like your cell phone. Your cell phone, how it is now, is not going to charge itself up on its own. You're putting it into some type of source. And you do it when it's low, to charge it up so you can have more energy. So it's just like us to charge up. You charge up when you sleep. That's why you sleep. That's why we call it unconscious meditation. You got all the symptoms of meditation. Your breath dropped. You went into a relaxed state, and that allowed the body to regenerate itself. That's why you sleep, just like a cell phone. When you meditate, when you're awake, that's called conscious sleep.
Mhm.
That's what meditation is. When you're conscious and you're doing the same symptoms as your sleep, so you can charge up. That's how you do it.
In Buddhist practice, they talk about that very thing, that you want to try to be uh, awake, or mindfully awake while you're sleeping, and um, dreaming sort of while you're awake. You know, in this restful state, in your imagination. That's like imagination is where the word magic comes from. This is
Right.
how we create, right? And with
Hmm.
thing with meditation and the breatharian science too, for me, it goes way beyond just not having to, live off food anymore. That's, to me, that's one of the powers, the city powers were granted through this vessel, as someone, seeking the yogic vibration, you know, so that you can practice and be free of like the monetary concerns, of the world. The highest thing we're going for is this joyful, peaceful spirit, and something we're cultivating inside through meditation that is making a quantum ripple in the world, and putting out that vibration of happiness so that other people, can ride it.
Right. Well, these terms we're using again, like when we think of yogi, it's actually yoga. Yoga, that's what the English put that on it. But it's actually yoga. Union, you connected to something. Connected to what? Just like we're saying, that solar cosmic energies in the atmosphere. Open up the body enough where it can do it. So we think of a yogi, we're thinking of somebody who's actually, like we talk about the asanas. And I got to tell people this because I've been in India for 2 years, and you'll be surprised that even though yoga is all over the place, it's well known, that running the energy people didn't know because everybody got caught with the Western idea. If I do the asanas, I just completed yoga. But the asanas is to stretch up the body because this is a conductor of energy to move the blockages so you can go to meditation afterwards. Just like breath work, Wim Hof just said something real key. His method was breath, doing the breath practices every day, cold shower every day, and meditation every day. Notice that he separated breath from meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are doing breath work, but they think that's going to get them there. Breath work is a practice to move the diaphragm, oxygenate the blood, break up the blockages so you can go into meditation after. Did I say this? We're cleaning this up now so everybody can be clear. These things do work, but when people who have made these achievements is telling you this now, try it and see how it works compared to you was doing it before. And you'll go a lot further. So even when I was doing the Qigong over in India, dealing with the yoga people, they couldn't hold the position. They was used to when they hold the position and feel a pain, stretch into it because that's how they was taught. And we're saying, no, hold that position so the light could clean up the blockage. That's the problem. Uh-oh. Oh man, we're cleaning this up now.
Yeah.
And I love this because the yoga, the asanas, and the breath work are designed so you can set meditation longer.
Right.
Yogananda said, if you do breath work and get up and go do something else, it's like filling up a bucket and kicking it over. You want to take all that beautiful energy and that peacefulness that you created in your mind and just take that right into a meditation. You can meditate longer.
Absolutely.
So if you have a hard time holding presence, quieting the mind, breath work, yoga, all those things are designed to help you with that. And the mind is really important because you were talking earlier about people who are worried about losing too much weight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we fuel ourselves on our thoughts and we can starve ourselves with our thoughts. So if the people are around you are saying, gee, you're getting awfully skinny, you need to eat something, the path you're on is dangerous, then you're going to take that into your own consciousness and you are going to actually start damaging your body and losing too much weight. That's going to be really hard to put the weight back on naturally, right? So you have to always be mindful of what kind of food are you taking in from other people's opinions and their energy and their thoughts, and how are you taking that into your own reality and your own consciousness? Are you going to subscribe to everybody else's consciousness or to your higher light, your source consciousness, which says, I am fueled on the sun. I am fueled by positivity and everything else that we're talking about.
Absolutely. And I'm glad how all of us hit on these points because it's hard for people to realize that physical matter is created by energy, or we could say slash thought, because thoughts is energy. That's how physical matter is created. Oh, did we say this?
Our consciousness is the universe. We are the universe. So we're talking
We
about
are the
following
universe.
the laws of the universe. We are the universe. We house spirit. We house the universe. Everything that's within us is out there. We're a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? We really
Absolutely.
are. So, I mean, our higher state
Everything.
of being is the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Why how you feel matters to the whole universe. Like they say, you know, when you smile, the whole world smiles with you. You know, when you frown, the whole world cries with you, or whatever. You know, you know, that energy and vibration, you know, creates a reflection. You know, and yeah, it's really fun to think about the ways in which we can morph and change our reality through, you know, more awareness, through increasing mindfulness. And there is too with this thing, you know, I want to also bring out, you know, of like, yes, our minds create reality. Part of this, as Elitom spoke of before, is like you can hurt yourself if you just starve yourself. So fasting is something to work with, but think of it as a practice, like an in breath and an out breath, where and you're attenuating that breath, you know, just like a meditator, where your breath may be more shallow, but you're getting in deeper states, you know. Same with the fasting. I've noticed my fasting just naturally grows longer and longer because I'm not pushing it and because I give myself the refeed, you know. So
Oh,
daily,
absolutely.
I
And
fast,
people.
having my window of refeed. And I'd like to point out Elitom's wisdom also of set time and cycles. When the digestion is high, you know, is the best time to refeed, and to fast during the times where your body is going through greater detoxification. And this helps this whole process move along of opening up the channels, so the light can flow through, and so that your body kind of, as you're getting off more dense things, you're attenuating your body more to the prana and the energy and the light and the thought, you know, at the same time, you know. Just want to add that piece.
Oh yeah. And it's good that we're teaching on this level, teaching the pros and the cons. The pros and the cons. You got to teach that way because, like we said, and I like how Shana brought up on, you basically are picking your own diet. See, there's so many diets out there. We're in the age of the most diets around. Somebody just told me some new name of some diet they're on, and I just started laughing. You know, not laughing to put them down, but I said, here we go again. But one diet don't work for everybody. You hear me? They don't work for everybody. So you got a chance to actually pick your own. Right. Don't be afraid of that. You know, what do you need at this time in this season? Let me work with this a little bit. This is what I'm more comfortable with, instead of saying you got to go by the rules that you got to eat this only. And that's not sustainable, because in reality, I'm meeting a lot of people who's doing that. And they saying, but I don't really have that much energy. I know, because you're not meditating. You know, I keep telling you, meditation is the foundation. This isn't about the diet. You're just jumping on a diet because you're copying somebody else. It's not working for you. And you feel less energy, you feel bad, and all this other stuff. Let's be clear and be real with it. And then we got to look at people from us in the past. I know we got our little heroes out there, you know, in the past that got some good writings and good information, but they passed away young. We got to look at it. They passed away young because that means that the energy left their body. This is why we're teaching you to go get the energy. And if you can keep it in your body, you won't pass away young.
Mm-hmm. And that
Did I say this?
That's super.
You can be clear.
Something you always teach that I want to be sure to hit on too is the thing about like our emotions and our relationships. You know, you can bleed out too much. You may love someone, you know, you may be, you know, compatible with them. You know, you may have all of everything right, but you're bleeding too much energy to them, perhaps. Or, you know, maybe you're in a relationship with work where you're just forcing it and you don't actually like your work. And it's going to be hard for you to make this kind of transition if you're, you know, drawing out your energy in those kind of ways.
Right. We call that too much stress in life. There's some people I actually had to say their life was too stressful on what they're trying to accomplish.
Right. And I believe that when you look at an activity, whether it's or a situation like whether it's a relationship or a job that you're doing, the true cost of it is how much life force energy it takes from you. How much are you getting and how much do you feel like you're losing if you're losing energy, right? So it's wise to choose activities and relationships that make you feel pranic, right?
Right, absolutely.
Use you with energy that make you feel high and happy instead of draining you because, oh, I've got to do this and this. I'm not really sure if I want to, and whatever. But if you look at everything in your life, what's draining you and what's fulfilling you, and that should be
absolutely
right there. That should be a guide in what direction to take if you're wondering what direction to take.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man, this gets good. But as we're talking, it's all about energy again. You either, because not only you're gaining energy, we keep saying that part. Everything you do, it takes energy to do it. So if you're burning up more energy than what you're getting, you're going to get tired and slow down. You're burning up too much on what you're getting.
You're going to even expend more energy thinking about things you don't want to do. If you thought about things you wanted to do, you'd actually receive more energy just thinking about it, not even doing it.
Right. Right.
It's that consistency once again, right? Like, and if you've been consistent with a bad pattern, there's every reason to believe you could be consistent with a good pattern.
Absolutely. Right. We're changing habits, changing our processes so we could go into more processes that's going to better us and give us more energy, and you'll go longer and be healthier and you'll be happier.
Right.
I mean, it's really simple.
It's true.
We make it harder what it really is.
I think you're right. I think that's been my dawning, and with this whole Pranic experience too, is, my lifestyle leads to this because I'm a gardener, so I'm out barefoot in the sun every day, and you just start to feel it. Like it's so, everything ancient man did all day long was an amazing health practice just because they were in the environment and the environment had an opportunity
absolutely.
to, evolve you. So
right.
Yeah, and if you wanted food, you had to hike to it, climb for it, run for it.
Right. And even when Wim Hof brought up his breath work every day and his meditation every day, and he said, you'd be surprised how many slew of diseases that could clear up in the body. He didn't even bring nothing up about food. You see where I'm getting at? It's powerful. But this is what he said that caught my attention, and I noticed it when I'm teaching. This stuff is so simple that people can't wrap their head around it because they're looking for something harder. They're really looking for something harder.
And you know what I think? I think this. I think we have spent so much time in this society and in this culture developing our left linear thinking mind. Think about it. The first 18 years of your life, you're in school developing your linear thinking mind. Imagine what kind of a society we would have, what kind of culture we would have if we spent all that time developing our right brain, our intuition, the energy receptors, the meditation, the creativity. We would have a completely different system on this planet. So a lot of people want that book. They want that thing they can wrap their brain around and understand on a logical level because they've been trained their whole life to assimilate information that way. And what we're saying is this path is experiential. This path is about getting in and meditating and quieting the mind. Whoa, that's totally different than what we've been taught our whole lives. So it's a path that's not easy for people because we haven't been trained that way, unless you've been lucky enough to be meditating your whole life or, in that pattern longer. So it's a totally different shift in thinking and being that we're not used to. So taking that step in that direction means you actually have to put it into practice. It's not
put it into practice.
Mentally understanding it. It's about doing it.
Right. I like how somebody said, I'm going to throw another kernel. They say life is the great experiment. This is an experiment. You'll think about an experiment. Who's doing this experiment? But the word experiment and experience is the same word. When somebody's doing the experiment, they're doing an experience to see how it comes out. It's the same word. So your life experiences is the experiment. You're learning from it. And after a while, you start, when we say wisdom, you start saying, oh, this don't work no more. This is not working. This works. Your experience did that. The great experiment. That's why you're a scientist at the end of the day, a person of knowledge.
Wizard.
And you've done it. Yeah, that's like I tell my students, you can read about Reiki all you want in a book, but unless you have a Reiki session or give a Reiki session, you really don't know what it is. It's the same
You don't
thing
know
with
what it is.
breatharianism. You don't know what being a light body is until you actually start feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The map is not the territory, and that's the trouble with all of these like preconceived ideas that come through logic. I like what Drunvalo Melchizedek says is we should drop out of our heads and into our hearts.
Mhm.
That's the first organ that forms. That's this electromagnetic dynamo. And that
Right. And
Yeah.
this is good. See, this is what makes it really simple and easy. The energy is always chasing us because we're conductors of energy already. You wouldn't even be alive if it didn't wake you up. It was already on you. It's chasing you. And it's going into your body depending on your lifestyle. Oh, this is good. That's why to be food free is a byproduct of your lifestyle. It ain't something that you put a date on and say, I'm going to be here. The energy is dictating that. It knows how clean you are. Did I say that? Other than that, it's not coming into the body. You could pray till you blue in the face.
Aho.
Wait a minute. The creature got to make a little changes, little tweaks. That's all. And that's what love is. Because it's so powerful, it don't want to hurt you. When we use that word hurt, it's just too much energy and you're not prepared for it. Oh, did I say this right? Just prepare. And how you to prepare? Surrender.
And
Let the love come in.
make the vessel
Get
ready.
up under the light. Right. And it's the light that's going to clean you. See, the light in meditation is detoxification. See, like earlier, you said something about the metabolism, your metabolism. And when we think about that, that's basically your what? Your digestive system and all this other good stuff, your system, your metabolism, how fast or slow it's going. Some people say, I got a slow metabolism. They got a lot of weight on and all this other stuff. But see, metabolism, metabolism, it just means continuous flow or continuous movement. And it's dictated on how much energy it has. Does that make sense? If you got a slow metabolism, that means you got less energy going through the body. You learn to pick up the energy, your metabolism is going to speed up. It'll kick up on pace continually. It's always continually flowing because your body is always seeking to detoxify itself. That's every time you use the bathroom, that's what it did. It gets rid of poison.
Even your breath. They say, actually, we lose more toxins through our breath than we do through defecation and urination.
Right.
Because we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. That's the carbon food or the dead cells and stuff inside of us attaching onto the oxygen when you expel it.
So we like a donut, a hole going straight through you. Your mouth is connected to your anus.
Yeah.
Serious. The body's designed to get rid of toxicity.
And that donut's connected with your toroidal field, that electromagnetic field that
right
at your heart center. And that's something I do with my meditation is actually, I do yours very regularly, by the way, Elitom, the microcosmic I've been doing since we met.
Right. Very powerful.
And the other one I do is just focusing on my heart center, just breathing into that and knowing that,
right.
That there's that, like Shana was saying, dropping out of the, that part of the mind that is actually, I see, this idea that Drunvalo talks about dropping in the heart as wisdom, because it's actually a lot of nerves and neurons and neural tissue. And your brain goes, should I, shouldn't I, good, bad, etc. But in your heart, things,
Mm-hmm.
and your heart is the place of compassion, which is your compass telling you where to go,
Right.
But it's also that place of courage, you know. So, and this path takes some courage. It is wonderful, joyous, playful, and fun, but you have to face yourself, you know, and you have to face your habits,
Right.
and you have to figure out you're doing this all because it's raising you to a higher vibration of living and
Absolutely.
feeling.
And I read something good today dealing with what a scientist working on seeds. And they said all seeds got melanin, which is an energy coding. You know, we know what that is, many different levels of it. But it's in the seed growth. And they said we're in a paradigm now that it can't go backwards, you know, working with energy. Bing! They talking the same game. This is what we're talking about. So where we at now as humanity, I'm not worried about people. If some is getting this message more than others and it's growing big.
Yes.
And it's not going to stop because this is the paradigm we're in. It's just that some people is more ahead than others. You know, that's how knowledge works. It works like a wave. But we're in that paradigm right now. For those who's in it, you're in the right place. And for those who's just trying to figure it out, you'll catch up fast because there's people before you already did the work. Oh man, this is good.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for the work you've done charting this path. I know being the first isn't easy. Being the leader of the pack, it's kind of a lonely job.
Right.
I know that to be the case, you know.
But now it's all these fruits everywhere. We
Right.
rolling.
It's like a gardener. You just go planting seeds, and this is with your own health or with trying to make an impact in the world. You just plant seeds. You know, some of them are going to fail, but you can do your best to nurture all those seeds, and
Absolutely.
they'll bear fruit. You know.
And it's all one entity. I'm doing a class online where it's a 6 months class. So we like at the 4th month. And you'd be surprised on the beginning, I was just doing a talking and nobody's giving feedback. But now everybody's in it. This is what I found. This is the research. This is what I learned. Yeah, I got it. And everybody's having fun. It's fun learning about yourself and what you can do. This is good, ain't it?
Yes.
It's fun. And that's why knowledge is king. Before you didn't know that. So that's where the fear was. See, ignorance brings forth fear. Knowledge takes away ignorance. And then ignorance, when the ignorance leaves, the fear leaves. Oh, this is good.
Yeah. That word guru means dispeller of darkness.
Uh-huh.
So
Dispeller of ignorance.
it's not teacher, it's not, saint, it's someone who dispels the darkness, with the light. So you
can be your own guru.
Yeah, and be all have the light shining within, right? Your higher self
this is good.
is my higher self, and we're all one. It's actually all the one.
It just by y'all saying that, be your own guru, really people already know this. You know why? Because when a person do reject something you say to them, they was the author that they could believe it or not. They're the author of it. So just because somebody told you something is true, everybody know they ain't got to accept it if they want to play with another belief system, or you could go to another belief system. On this way, we're doing it all the time. So on one level, that's why I teach the way I do, because I know everybody's a god actually playing the game like they're asleep.
That's right. And I also want to be mindful of belief systems. Because as soon as you have a really strong belief system, you cut yourself off from any other options or potential, right? So be mindful of what you believe. Keep yourself open to possibilities and new things, and just a real open mind, open heart. You're open in your field. Everything should be open. So what I have found on this path is being mindful of your belief systems, letting go of attachments and expectations. Those two huge things, attachments and expectations. That right there is just on its own is a spiritual path, because it will lead to less ego and more spirit and all of that. But even your own expectations on yourself, or attachments to food or certain relationships or whatever it is in your life, this journey is a continuous journey of letting go. in every moment of your life. Oh, I have that thought,
Mhm.
let that go. Oh, this, I'll let that go. It's just letting go, because you realize in the course of the day, we have so many things that we hang on to. So many
Mhm.
things on so many different levels. So just let go continuously throughout the day.
Voila.
And we have
Oh man, this is good.
potential. We have infinite potential, and there's like so much we could be exploring and experiencing. So those beliefs, that's the only trouble with them, is they're keeping you from that, you know. Um,
Oh, absolutely. Here we go. Oh man, this is good. Once again, and we hope everybody got this.
Oh, I like those shades.
yeah,
Right.
that was
You're
good.
reflecting the light.
It's a wonderful world. My cool shades.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jesse Tree, for having us here. And thank you, Elitom. Oh,
Thanks once again.
Blessings, Sangha.
This was
Love
good.
you, my community. I really appreciate your wisdom and your sharing, and your spirit. And let's keep this vibe high. Let's keep rolling and spread that love. And everyone out there, I hope you got something from this. I'm sure there were so many nuggets. I don't know how you couldn't. And you know, just it's simple things. Get in the sun, get some good sleep, get some good food, care about yourself. And
This is good.
we're all going. So
All right.
all right. Be well.
Love you all.
Love you. Be
Peace
well.
and blessings.